No, I am not mute. Okay, fine. So some of the defense training institutes we have already seen. Right now, we were seeing the Indian Military Academy IMA, right? And see, in this case, I will tell you some of the things, right, which you can have. So it's age limit is 19 to 24 years, right? For IMA, I'm talking about. It is in consequence with the earlier one, right? So 19 to 24. How you can enter? So CDA, yes, right? Combined Defense Services Exam 1 and 2, right? Exams 1 and 2. So as like NDA 1 and NDA 2, there is always every year CDS 1 and CDS 2, which are, so for that, your age must be, at least you must be completed 19 years, at the most 24 years, right? In between these two extremes, your age should be. Then you can be any graduate. You must have completed any graduation, or must be in last year or semester of graduation. Fine. So this is the case in the last year or in the last semester of your graduation, right? Or you must have completed it. Any graduation, it doesn't matter, whatever you are doing, right? Then in this particular case, there will be written examination. Fine. Then there must be the physical standards. Right? If you consider the, so you must have a height of 157 centimeters, right, at least. And this is only for the men, right? So woman is not allowed in this case. Women are always being entered only in the OTA, right? That will be OTA Chennai. So physical standards, 157 centimeters height must be there. Then you must have to go through the SSB interview. So this is the process through which you can enter into the IMA, right? So age limit is this one. This is only for the male candidates. You must have completed graduation or must be in the last year or semester of your graduation. Then you have to appear for CDS, that is written examination called CDS, Combined Defense Services 1 or 2. Physical standards, like this is genuine thing, SSB interview, right? So this is for us. Now, in this particular case, as I said, you can have these things so that very easily you can enter into the either of the training institutes which are for being commissioned officer, right? So this is about the IMA. Now, next institute which we can consider here is the Officers Training Academy, OTA, that is OTA Chennai, right? So I think it might be number 6. Right. So Officers Training Academy, Chennai. Right. So we have done OTA Gaya, So that is after 10 plus 2. Now this is after the graduation. Right. So here both men and women are allowed. Right. So it is a short service commission, SSC, short service commission. That means you will not be for your entire life will be in this particular case, but you will be having a chance to get permanent commission after completing the tenure of short service commission. I think this is 5 plus 5 plus 2, right? So in general 10 years, 5 plus 5. So after 5 years your physical test will be there, and most of you get physically fit. Then further 5 years you get, and after these 10 years performance, you may get extension for 2 more years, or you will be having an option to go for the permanent commission. So you can become the permanent commission officer in the army, right? So this is officers training academy, which is at Chennai. Now it is likely IMA, right? Likely IMA. So whatever IMA is doing, the same kind of thing is being done by OTA. So only thing is that its purpose is to be a short service commission, not a permanent commission. Whereas IMA is looking only for the permanent commission. Then what is the eligibility? Right. So here again you must have the years from 19 to 25. So you must be completed 19 years, must not completed 25 years. So your age in between these two extremes must be there. Then any graduate, right, is being accepted, or like here, right, must be in last year or last semester, right? So if you are any graduate or in the last semester or in the last year, then you are eligible for this, right? Then you have to again give the written examination, right, by serious, fine. Then here you can have written exam, right? But here both men and women are allowed. Physical standards same, right? So physical standards are we can consider for, okay, I will write it here. Physical standards, right? So for men it is 157 centimeter, and for women it is 152 centimeter. So at least 152 centimeter height must be there for women, and for men it is 157 centimeters. Fine. Then apart from this, you have to appear to the SSB interview, right? And after getting through the SSB interview, you will be sent for the training, right, at the OTA Chennai, right? So this is the case, which is I think probably the last chance to become the commission officer in the armed forces, particularly in the army, right? So this is about OTA Chennai. Fine. Now, then you can consider again same exam. Okay. SSC stands for Short Service Commission. right? So what happens in the short service commission? See, if you enter into the NDA or directly IMA, then you will be placed as the permanent commission officer. That means till retirement you will be the officer, and that is called permanent commission officer. Now, as I said, for okay, for SSC, what happens in SSC? So you will be placed as commission officer, no doubt, but your service is not permanent. That means it doesn't last long to your retirement. So it is 10-year basis. So initially, almost everyone gets at least 10 years, right? So, but initially it is for 5 years, and except training, and extended again for 5 years. And after 10 years of your response, right? After 10 years, your performance will be evaluated, and you may get chance to be placed as permanent commission officer, and in that case you will last long your service till your retirement, right? So it will not have a tenure basis period, right? So that is called short service commission officer. Now see what was the objective behind this, or why it is being there. What had happened during the war situation? uh, we felt lack of officers, right? Or there sometimes there might be the lack of the trained persons, right? And that's the reason that in order to associate your regular officers, you must have the officers, but you cannot compromise with the quality, that quality of training. Keep in mind, right? So that must be provided, and instead of for recruiting the permanent commission officers, if you could have a batch or a generation of officers, well-trained officers, for a 10-year basis, because war situation is not forever, right? It may be for some time or some duration, right? And obviously, according to the requirements of the trained military personnel, it is always there. That was the motive behind this particular thing, or this particular academy, that is officers training academy, right? So this is always there. Fine. So SSC stands for short service commission. Fine. See, the rest of the things, or the rest of the benefits are exactly same, right? If you become lieutenant through OTA and lieutenant through IMA, so nothing get changed except the duration of your service, right? So whatever the benefits uh, the the person getting who has trained by IMA, the same benefits will be offered to the person got trained by OTA, that is Officers Training Academy, Chennai. Right. So this is the way by which you can enter. There is one more way to enter into OT. Right. So here, this is, let's say, A. Here I will be writing the option B. Now see, in this particular case, uh, option B, which is a sort of direct entry, right? Or there you need not to give any kind of written examination. So it is based on NCC C certificate. NCC C certificate, right? So depending on this, you will be placed. You will be selected for OTA Chennai. So every year there are 50 vacancies which are reserved. Always keep in mind for NCC C certificate holders, right? So again, in this case, what happens? Suppose you have completed your NCC C certificate, that is of senior division when you are at graduation, right? It is of 3 years NCC. And if you could have passed the examination of your NCC C certificate at least with B grade, right? At least B grade is important. Fine. Then you can be called for interview. But how that is? So you have to apply through your battalion from where you have completed your NCC. And suppose in the battalion at a time or in a same tenure, if many more cadets are applying, then your interview will be first interview will be get done at battalion only, right, from where you are applying, and depending on your performance, few will be selected and that will be sent to the OTA, right? And at OTA, right, so here no written exam in this case, but I will suggest not to think about this option or not to follow this option because it is a lengthy process or lengthy option, right? And second thing, here you have to compete for 50, right? Only 50 vacancies will be there, right, throughout the year. So I think 25 per what I can say per exam, right, or their let's say batch. Again in that 25 or there is again some reservation to the women because there is senior women division is also there in NCC. So, and this will be after graduation only, keep in mind. Fine. So no written exam and only SSB interview, right? So just go through the SSB interview, and obviously you are directly if you are looking through the NCC C certificate or basis on the C certificate, then it is sure that you have completed your physical standards. So here I'm not writing any kind of physical standards. So depending on this, you will be always called for interview. Your interview will be conducted, which is standard process again. See, whenever you hear SSB interview, so that SSB interview same for everywhere, same for everyone, right? So for whether it is for IMA, whether it is for NDA, whether it is for OTA, it will be always same, right? So no changes in the process of your SSB interview. Fine. So this is the case which you can have, right? So another option through OTA, but probably, as I said, it is the probably it is yes, right? So in this particular case, it is the what I can say, the last option to be commission officer. Fine. So let's go to the next one. Yes, though the name, as I said, SSB, it is the procedure is same, but toughness get changes. Yes, it is true, exactly true, right? Even if you consider the SSB for the cadets who are applying on the basis of NCC, for them there might be the level of difficulty related to the army or related to the Indian Armed Forces may be greater, because already they have gone through, it is assumed that they have gone through 3 years training, right? Though it is partial or partly, but they know everything, right? So structurally they know everything, they know most of the things which can be termed as tactics or statistics. And because of that it might be it's not like that for which of the post it is toughest. See, everywhere it is toughest. What I said, you must be well trained, equipped with the modern combat statistics. So tell me, if you are an army officer, so is there no need to be train you as good as the pilot is trained, or as good as the sub lieutenant is trained, right? So see, in training, that's the reason what I said. So in training, there is no bifurcation. You cannot bifurcate according to training. One more thing, you cannot, in my opinion, you cannot say that this is the best one, that is the least one. No, preferentially you can put this could be number one, the preference for second will be for so and so among the three armed forces, and obviously first two, so remaining the third one which is remain will be the preferentially coming at number three. But in my opinion, I will never, rather till now I have never said that this is the best and that is the list, right? So uh, that is a particular thing, right? Okay, now let's move to the next academy, say number 7, right? So I will be considering it as Indian Naval Academy. Indian Naval Academy, which is at Ezimala in the state of Kerala. Yes, Kochi. But that particular place, name of that place is Ezimala. Right? It is in Kerala. Now, see, it is only 7 kilometers away from the Arabian Sea. So see how much nearest to the sea it is. And what does it do? So it conducts basic training for Indian Navy, and again for Coast Guards, right? Basic training for Coast Guard. The beauty of this is it is the largest naval academy of Asia. So Asia's largest naval academy is the Indian Naval Academy, which is at Azimala in Kerala. So it was established in 1969, right, at Kochi. And if you consider, right, particularly at this Azimala, very recently in 2009, so 8th of January 2009, it was its new campus was inaugurated, right, which is known as Indian Naval Academy, right? So its establishment is in 1969, and its new campus. See, every time there are some renovations are going on. Fine. Now, most important thing here is how you can enter in this academy. Those who wanted to go into the Navy. So admissions. So there are 3 different ways by which you can enter in this particular, right? So first is NDA and NM exams, right, which we have already considered, right? That is the NDA. Now, second is there is a technical entry, 10+2 Navy technical entry. Now, see, in this particular case, right, if you uh, if you consider this particular, after 10 plus 2 you can enter as like Navy technical entry in the in this particular academy, and there you will be getting then the engineering degree, right? That is in the BTech. So what kind of BTechs you will be having, right? So no doubt it is of 4 years, right? So you will be having their electronics, mechanical, architecture. Purposefully I am telling this, architecture. Suppose if you have opted electronics and mechanical engineering, so within 4 years you will be getting completed your degree. But if you have opted architecture, right, then you will be having an option to go for 6 months additional training. 6 months additional training, where mostly at IIT Delhi. Right. Also, if you want to go for the master's degree in this, especially architecture, they have their MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, right? So Karareha with the IIT Delhi. There you can go for the 2 years master degree, and you will be getting a leave from Navy, and you can attain your master's program at IIT Delhi, right? So you can get it. In fact, most of you get the leave for your higher studies, even abroad, right? If someone wants to get it, right? So this is about this particular thing. So 10 plus 2, right, where you will get the BTech degree. And next is the last entry, that is after graduation. But what kind of graduation, right? So already you must have BE or a BTech only, right? If you are a graduate of the BE or BTech, right, then you will be having a chance to enter into this one. How? Through CDS, right? So through CDS. What are the physical standards? As I considered, or as I said, for IMA and OTA. So here slight change is there. 157.5 centimeter height must be there, right? See, I'm here. If I'm telling physical standards only for, I'm telling it only for the height. So that means it, height to weight ratio, right, is always there. So according to this, you have to have your weight. You should not, in this case, overweight or underweight. Not only for this, for everywhere. And again, your eyesight, right? So mostly you must have 6x6, and I think with your lenses, it should not be greater than 6x8. Right? You can check out this. Right? So I haven't never paid much attention on this particular thing, right? Because naturally it is I have a very good eyesight, right? And I hope everyone is having. If someone is having the lenses, you should not worry about this particular thing, right? See, nowadays lenses are get removed, right? So, or very small kind of surgeries are there. By doing that surgeries, your eyesight get improved, and without specs or lens, you can attain the physical standards, right? It is not only for Indian Naval Academy; it is for every academy, right? But only thing is that I haven't discussed it for others. Rather, I wanted to discuss it with the last one, right? So these two things. But this is going to be changed for every academy. Even for Air Force, it is going to change, right? So this is about your Indian Naval Academy, right? No, what I said overweight. So it is always adjusted, right? If you have, let's say, some greater weight, right? But you should not underweight. Always keep in mind. I think for 165 centimeter, the weight should be 58 to 64. So 62, right? So your weight should not be 56, 55 if your height is 165 centimeters. It can be accepted if your weight is 164, right? It can be, what I can say, accepted if it is more than 62. But more than 62 means 80, no, not accepted. Keep in mind. Right? That will be in the category of overweight, right? So it should not happen. Fine. Now, if you consider, as I said, the way, the standards, right? So that are about your these things. Fine. Now, if you consider the next one, right? Obviously, it is related to the Air Force. Fine. I think probably the Indian Air Force Academy, right, which is at, okay, one more thing which has left in this particular case. So after graduation, also in Navy, by having the same standards, right, you can go for short service commission, right? Its training is being carried out at, so I can consider it as since it is after graduation, I will write it as A and this as B. So you have one more option. So short service commission. Again, you will get an option to go for permanent commission, right? If you have a very good performance in your service, right? So that will be allowing you for the let's say permanent commission. Fine. So this is the case which you can have. Fine. Now, in the next one, short service commission, as I said, 10 years, at least 10 years you get, right? If you want to go for your permanent commission, then you are allowed, right? But that will be completely depending on performance, how you have performed in the in last 10 years, right? So depending on that, your or depending on your evaluation, you will be selected for permanent commission or rejected, right? If not, still you have an option to go for extension of 2 years, so it becomes 10 plus 2, right? But it is not altogether 10 plus 2, it is always 5 plus 5 plus 2, right? So that is the case which you can have. Now, okay, someone had asked about that 10 plus 2 entry. Fine. So what I said, it is a Navy technical entry, and every time or there is a separate advertisement for technical entry, take entry, right? So take entry, which is not under this one or in this one, right? So they have separate exam, like like as FCAT. Fine. So according to that, it is a straightforward, but its base is after 12. So I think you must have to have science, right? Again, in that case, you must have to have maths and physics, particularly maths, chemistry, and physics, right? So that would be the case which you can, you have an option to enter into the Navy, right? So this is particularly for the what I can say